Hi and welcome to me. I'm Pixie and this is my little video about the WowNew. This is an Enigma chair and it's got it attached, but I couldn't find any videos that show what I wanted to see. I'm going to try and make sure that it's a lit friendly video, and so I'm going to show you the controls in a minute. But you've got a power button with an indicator of the power battery, you've got your horn, you've then got your speed for up or down. Currently this is on the high speed. And you've got your joystick. Joystick comes with an arm. So in this case, you can see it's here. You can see the cable that then runs down to the back. So you can see the cable comes down to the back. This is the safety cable to make sure that it doesn't get detached. And you've got your battery here with your power point. You've got your push handles, you've got your levers there. So just to show you what it's like, let's go forward. As you can see, the surface is not very good, but it's managing it well. Let's talk a bit more about the features. Okay, so that should allow you to see what's going on. Now, I'm going to power it off. So, one of the things you should be able to see, I'm going to drop this down now so you can see it better, is that the chair has some fixed points. Now, I'm on my seat, thank you for bearing with me. So as you can see down here, here are some brackets, and this is where the point comes through. So let me just take it, there's some levers back here which I will show you in a second. There's to take the motors off the drive session. So now I can rotate it round. And that's it from the front. I'm having trouble seeing because of the bright light, but I'm on an iPhone 6, so bear with me. So as you can see, this is there. Now this allows you to pull it through from the front or from the back. And you can see this goes from here. So this is WowNew. It's got the brackets here and here that connect to it. I'll just pull this out. I will show you this again in a second, so don't panic. Helps when you put the brakes on, and that's it out. So as you can see, you've got two brackets which has got holes. You can see my finger sticking through, so they've got the holes through, so that gives you, see, your solid point connection. You can pull it through when you've got the lever down. It is not the easiest to do on your own. So I'm going to show it the other way around because I don't want to stray myself. I dislocate. So I'm going to move the chair around so you can see from the other side. Perhaps when you take the strap off. There we go. So now this chair is £1,500 to set up. So as you can see, you've got the brackets there with the arms coming through. Just going to show you the buttons. So this is your drive, and you turn it on. You've got your power button, which will then show you the lights. You've got orange, red, green. I can power it up for you just so you can see that. Let me do that for you. As you can tell, I'm newer to this video game than some of the other more professional ones, but we all start somewhere. So as you can see, this has got, there you go, it's flashing because it's not connected properly, but you can see that you've got the, that's because I've not put the drivetrain in and it's recognised it, but I'll show you again in a second. But you can see all the buttons there. So let me connect it up properly so you can see how it goes. So, who is this good for? This is good for somebody who needs to have a chair that you can, there we go, yeah, can see that, good. This is good for somebody who needs to be able to go in the car. The chair's about 500, the attachment's about £1,000, and as you can see, here's your cable. I tend to put the cable in here when it's not in use to protect it. So that's the chair. Put the brakes on you and make your life a lot easier. So here's the drive unit. As you can see, it's not lightweight. To take the battery off, just push and lift. There we go, and then you've got the standard. Now you can't see that. Turn it round. There you go. So as you can see, you've got the standard. Should work. There we go. So you've got the standard 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you've got a reset button. You've got the buttons here which say, so this is in the freewheeling mode, but if you turn it this way, then suddenly you've got the drive motors engaged. These lever extensions are really good. When you want to push this down to get the brackets off, you push the lever, pull the yellow lever back, hold together, and as you can see, they pop out. Release, and they pop and come out again. And that's how you secure it to the chair. So I've got the drivetrain engaged. So release the motors. Make sure the motors are in free flow. Anyone who's had a mobility scooter knows that mode. Rotate round, line up. Push the levers forward so as you can see it's freely engageable. Run forward. And there we go. So you can see that they line up slight. Release. So that's all engaged. Take the brakes off, you can then see it freewheeling. There we go. So we've got the brakes and bring it back a bit more. So I'm now going to engage the drivetrain, add the battery. As you can see, it's got a little clip and it's got a right way and a wrong way. I've then got my battery secure, and I'm putting the safety strap on, and then I can turn it on, and then you can see that. As you can see there, you've got the relights in the colours of the battery, and you've got your speed, and you can reduce down. You've got the points there. You've got most of these, great, because then you can lift it up and move it on there. And again, if you need to take the arms out, you can pull these off, so these arms come off. If you need to take that bit off, which is good. Obviously you've got to be careful with the removable, so you've got that. And then you've got a standard chair. So hopefully that answers all your questions. If not, pop me a question underneath in the comments and I will answer your questions for you if I'm able to. This didn't work for me. It did for a while, like all things. I am a parent with 2 small children. And it depends on the needs as to what you need and when you need it. The chair has been exceptionally comfy. I am, for somebody else it'll be perfect. What I really liked about it was how, because it's got the seatbelt points, you can go in a taxi in this. I had an ultralight folding chair beforehand, and the problem with that was that you can't stay in the chair if you need to go in a taxi. And I realised this when I was in a taxi, and they had strapped me in the chair because I'd fallen out of it. And I realised what would happen if there was an accident. Luckily I was 1 minute from home when I realised this, on a 3-minute journey. But if you're in an ultralight folding chair, you shouldn't be in it in a taxi strapped down. It's dangerous. Whereas this is solid. It's dependable, it goes over the things. This one hasn't had a service, which is why you get a bit squeaky if you don't keep them oiled, and it's been in the garage for COVID because this is my outside chair, and as you can see it can quite happily go along at 6 kilometers per hour or 4 miles an hour. It reverses, it's got a neat turning circle. You can buy additional batteries if, like many people, you want to have a spare battery so that you've always got one on charge. This will deal with the weight. It is one of the more based on one of the self-propel power strolls. This is the U-Drive power stroll, which means you can have the controls here, or you can have the controls further up so that it's a fully supportive for anybody assisting. So it's got the foot forward, reverse, and then it's got the side to side, which is why it is suitable for the user to self-propel. Hope that's answered your questions. It's a good little unit. The joystick's really easy to use. Goes forward, goes back. Strong enough it'll push a brick. This will take the weight. So this is ideal where the little ultralight folding ones won't take the weight. It takes a standard power lead, which is also really useful because, of course, if you've ever had one of these, you've usually got a spare one lying around. So you can either have one set up in your car to charge it up as you're going between locations, or take a spare and then have your main set up. You can't use it while it's charging, like all of these things, but again, it's really easy to charge it up as you're going. And the most bigger advantage is that when you saw the two separates, it fits in a boot. So we have the small boot we have is a Yeti, and that fits in this with just standard folding up. Don't even have to drop the back. So I just fold it up some sideways, and then we pick up the power unit and put that bit in. Nice, easy, quick to manage. Much faster than my tri-ride to connect and disconnect. Isn't as fast as a tri-ride, but it's a lot more cheaper. To buy new, not second hand, but to buy new, the chair's 500 RRP, the U-Drive is 1,000 RRP. So for £1,500 for a really solid setup, genius. And obviously if you're any good with hacks, then you might consider wanting to change the battery for a lithium battery. But again, there's options out there if you know what you're doing. But this is a really solid chair. Now, there are people who this chair would be perfect for. But I hope this video answers your questions, and if it doesn't, again, put down. I apologise if the quality is not great. As I said, I'm new to this. I'm on an iPhone. I have a great, anything that's good, I will advertise that in my comments. And thanks for supporting me here, or consider supporting me on Patreon, or Patreon, or however it's pronounced, so that I can do you more useful videos, because it might save someone buying a chair that wouldn't suit them. I've tried most chairs. I've tried some good chairs and I've tried some bad chairs, and I've gone through a few. I have a rapidly developing and changing setup. So again, at this point, I would always say for you, plan for where you think you're going to be at your worst in 24 months, and plan where you'll be at your best. Most equipment you might only find will last you a few years. This stuff, because it's old school, is solid and will last you. And then the only thing that might need changing is the battery. The other advantage to this one, because the parts are so widely available, because it's based on the mainstream power pack stuff, it's really easy to get spares and repairs, and the batteries are the ones that they all have